Time passes by so fast. Red turns blue, black turns gray, youth goes old. These are the inevitable things that are happening in our lives. Some things grow and some are not. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Some things are revolving and some things are evolving. Every day is different. These phenomena are distinct and ironic, for some believe that it is the only permanent thing in the world, and it is called change. But some people prefer to live their lives the usual way. They avoid change. His name is Rick. He's tall, dark, and never mind. He has a friend, and her name is Lay. They are both humble, funny, and sociable. But in terms of academics, they are not that smart. You can say that they are just average students. And like the other students, they are always just having fun in their leisure time, sleep during class hours, and copy one's assignments. Until one day, when their exam in math was ended, they both received the lowest score. Lay seemed to be okay with it, but Rick wasn't. Because of the result, Rick realized something.
Hey,
What?
it's the first time that I received those kinds of scores.
You're still not over it? It's okay, Rick. It's not like we're gonna die from it, so cheer up.
You know what, Lay? I think I realized something. I think we need to change. We must take things seriously.
Us? Take things seriously? Are you joking?
No, I'm not. And I'm starting right now.
So that's why you called me to go to your house to do group studying? This sucks.
Hey, real talk. I think we really need to study harder. We're not gonna die from studying, you know.
I think you're sick. Grades doesn't define who we are. You said that yourself. I don't want to change just because of a sheet of paper with so-called grades. I'm happy of what I am now, so what's the point of changing anyway? I'm out.
Wait. Yes, I said that. But that's so long ago. Whether we have these grades or not, we need to study. Wouldn't we want to be lawyers? If we didn't study, it will affect our future.
Ever you say. Out.
And that moment changed their lives. Lay chose not to change, so she lived as the same old her. And as for Rick, he realized that he must change for the better. He started to fix his schedule, manage his time, and lessen the times he hangs out. He studied every subject and began to ace all of them. He always doubted himself and too scared to change before. But now, he's different. He changed for the better. So let me ask you, what would you like to be? A man who settles for good, or a man who changes for the better? Everyone is different. We differ on how we live our lives. We differ on what we believe in. Some people believe in consistency. Like clay, those people who avoid change want to do the same things because they didn't know the point of changing something in their lives. And as a result, problems tend to get more difficult and difficult because these people have difficulty on adapting to new things. And to those who are in favor of change may argue that it poses a possibility for a particular person to improve him or herself, both mentally and socially. In the light of the entirety of this course, we pointed out one of the most important aspects of our reality: change. However, have you ever imagined the time at which it was discovered? The persons who contributed in building its fundamental notions? Well, a particular person who became the key figure to the discovery of one of the most important truths of this reality: Heraclitus. Heraclitus is a Greek philosopher of the late 6th century BCE. He was considered to be one of the most important thinkers in history. Heraclitus' views on change and flow stand out in a stark contradicting to a picture of then perceived static universe. Heraclitus' philosophy is a good starting point for anyone concerned with acceptance and living through change in life. He believed that there is nothing permanent in this world except change itself. Let's try to know more of the face behind all those inspiring teachings. The truth is that little is known of Heraclitus' life. Most of what has been handed down consists of stories apparently invented to illustrate his character, as inferred from his writings. He was a Greek philosopher of Ephesus, a prominent city of Ionia, the Greek inhabited coast of Asia Minor, and was active around 500 BCE. According to one account, he inherited the honorific title of King of the Ionians, but he resigned it to his brother in exchange for a normal life. Unlike most other early philosophers, Heraclitus is seen as independent, and he himself implies that he is self-taught. He has been variously judged by ancient and modern commentators to be a material monist or a process philosopher, a scientific cosmologist, a metaphysician, or a mainly religious thinker, an empiricist, a rationalist, or a mystic, a conventional thinker or a revolutionary, a developer of logic, or one who denied the law of non-contradiction, the first genuine philosopher, or an anti-intellectual obscurantist. Heraclitus criticizes his predecessors and contemporaries for their failure to see the unity in experience. He claims to announce an everlasting word, or logos, according to which all things are one in some sense. Opposites are necessary for life, but they are unified in a system of balanced exchanges. The world itself consists of a law-like interchange of elements, symbolized by fire. Thus, the world is not to be identified with any particular substance, but rather with an ongoing process governed by a law of change. The underlying law of nature also manifests itself as a moral law for human beings. Heraclitus is the first Western philosopher to go beyond physical theory in search of metaphysical foundations and moral applications. Heraclitus propounded a distinctive theory which he expressed in oracular language, but he is best known for that things are constantly changing, that opposites coincide, and that fire is the basic material of the world. But with all of this, we only want to focus on one teaching of Heraclitus. That is one of his doctrines, the doctrine of flux, and the unity of opposites. According to Heraclitus, the world is in an eternal state of becoming, and all changes arise from the dynamic and cyclic interplay of opposites. Opposites are necessary for life, he believed, but they are unified in a system of balanced exchanges, with pairs of opposites making up a unity. Thus, one road carries some travelers out of a city, while it brings others back in. The way up is also the way down. Earth changes to fire, and fire changes to earth, etc. In this, he posits an equal and opposite reaction of every change and, in his theory of the equivalence of matter, a primitive law of conservation. Heraclitus concluded that nature is change. Like a river, nature flows ever onwards. Even the nature of flow changes. Heraclitus' vision of life is clear in his epigram on the river of flux. We both step and do not step in the same rivers. We are and are not. One interpretation of this passage is that Heraclitus is saying we can step into the same river twice. This is because the river is constantly changing. If we step into the river, we step out of it again, and we step into it a second time. We step into different waters and thus a different river. Moreover, we step into and out of the river as different beings. If we step into the river, we step out of it again, and we step into it a second time. We step into different waters and thus a different river. Moreover, we step into and out of the river as different beings. The river changes, and so are we.